These are some additional notes regarding the power of confidence, which I'll put here at the front of the video as opposed to putting them at the end. Because as I watched this video, I realized I sometimes assume I'm talking to viewers who know my life story or who have been Googled my career. This should be for everybody, even if this is the first time they've ever seen one of my videos and don't know who I am. So I'm Ryan Hayashi. My professional work is as a lecturer at the University of Mannheim in Germany, which is often referred to as the Harvard of Germany. It's one of the nation's leading universities for business and economics. I also do corporate language coaching for various corporations. And on the side, I've been involved in performance magic for the last 2 decades. Now, this is where my sort of experience and my view of confidence and how to build it comes from. So this is a little bit the answer to people who don't know who I am, wondering why should I be talking about confidence and, how would I know anything about it? In addition to, going to work and having a job, which coincidentally I do enjoy very much, I spent 7 years from 2001 until 2007 pursuing one of my passions in life, which is magic. And the way I did that was attending magic conventions around the world and entering into national competitions in several countries. So I was actually the first Europe-based magician to win the Swiss National Championships, the Austrian, the Italian, the French, and the German. First place winner in all of those nationals for the category in card magic. Germany 3 times actually. Competed at the 2005 SAM European Championships of Magic, won that as well as winning the 2003 International Magic Macmillan competition held in London. This led up into my first FISM World Championships in 2006, held in Stockholm, Sweden, where I ranked in the top 10 close-up performers for the world. And then I sort of closed my competition career in 2007, competing at the 2 major American national championships, the IBM and the SAM, winning awards in both. I then returned to the FISM or FISM World Championships again in 2012, and then again in 2018. It's only held every 3 years, again placing in the top 10. So that was a lot of competition, but then that was followed by a decade of television work from 2008 to 2018, during which I performed 38 national primetime television shows in 12 countries, 6 different languages. And that's a lot, for somebody, especially an Asian. There was only 2 Japanese television shows, 1 in Brazil. The rest were European, Western world productions. And as an Asian, before 2018, that wasn't very common. My last appearance, of course, being the Penn and Teller Fool Us appearance, which has gotten me all of this media or online attention. So this is not only for magicians. This is not only for presenters or speakers or performers. Confidence is something which will impact any person's life as long as you have human contact and you do somehow have to deal with human beings. If you have to sell a product, a service, a company, an image, yourself, you need in some form to be able to communicate with other human beings. And confidence is this mysterious calmness or aura of control and competence and being on top of things that really affects people. So this was the reason why I went into the stories you're about to hear. Now, at the end of the story, you'll notice I said, thanks for listening to my comments on confidence, whatever that is. Now, that's my sarcastic sense of humor. I do give this a lot of thought. I have been asked for years now from people to include more talk about confidence in my keynote speaking and in my coachings. What I meant when I said that, because I was sitting alone in a room like now talking to my cell phone, I meant confidence, this elusive thing which is hard to define and is described in many different ways by many different people. But I describe confidence as feeling comfortable with yourself, in your own skin, your own abilities, your own sense of identity, in your capabilities in any given situation, and basically just feeling like you can own yourself, own the situation, own the room, own the audience or the people in that moment. And the best way, in my experience, to build that is by doing things which challenge yourself, and if you manage to do well, which give a sense of accomplishment and success, because that's what builds confidence. And if at first you don't succeed, fail well, try again, fail better. So this whole 7 years I spent competing in magic competitions around the world, national championships and the international level. The decade I did in television were both an exercise in confidence, so like huge confidence builders, as well as tests of confidence. So it's sort of both. Yeah. All right. Enjoy the talk. Hello everyone, I'm Ryan Hayashi. Welcome to Hayashi Dojo in Mannheim, Germany, my martial arts studio where I teach traditional Japanese karate. Today I would like to talk about confidence. This is one aspect of my presentation style, my personality, that people have been asking about. Fast forward a year later in 2004, in 2003, so then I went on to win the Swiss National Championships. 2004, I wanted to do the same thing in France, in the French language. That was fun, because the French don't speak English or any other language as well as some other countries, but it's all right. I made a solid effort and invested about 4 months into learning my act in French. When I showed up for the French National Championships of Magic, by that point, I have to show this with a deck of cards. I had been playing around with this movement, which I saw from Leonard Green's VHS video back in 2001. I didn't see the explanation segment. I didn't learn how to do it. I just figured out how to do it. And around that same time, 2001, 2002, a new craze in magic started called XCM, Extreme Card Manipulation. Nowadays, it's called cardistry. It's just old school flourishes with another name. So the first flourish cut I learned how to do out of frustration and wondering how Leonard Green could move so many packets was this. Okay, by around 2004 and 5, when other magicians saw that, they said it looked like a Sybil. I expanded this 5-packet cut into a 7-packet cut, which I literally probably couldn't do right now because I haven't done it in 15 years. But at one point I knew how to do this and open up a deck of cards with a very attractive looking display of 7 packets. Okay, I don't know how I did it. I made it up myself. I trained it for 3 years, and by 2004, it looked pretty, and I could just effortlessly dance those packets. And I went on to win the French National Championships, but the story of how I did that is in itself a case study of indestructible calm. I went into the theater where the close-up competition was going to be held before people came in. I saw one young French magician already in his suit, already in his zone, in his mindset, walk up to the competition table, open up his deck of cards into a beautiful 10 or 11 packet display with his hands out like this, and you could see the tension that, that was really hard to hold, and then he folded it up like a transformer, and then he just exhaled and relaxed, because the body language told me that was when he expected the standing ovation and people to cheer and just go crazy over this guy. So the moment I saw that, I turned, looking to the side 90 degrees from him, as if I pretended I wasn't watching him, which I was. Then I looked over at him, gave him a half nod, opened up to that really fluent 7-packet cut that I'd just been practicing those last 3 years, and then nodded and walked away. But as I nodded and walked away, I could see him get punched in the gut. He was like, I could visibly see the air come out of the guy, the fear. And then in the competition, same category of card magic, he was on before me. And he was a French guy, speaking French, his country, his language. He looked confident, and you can just tell it. If you've been in Magic a while, you can smell a solid act coming up and a solid performer with experience. This was the guy. So I thought, let's watch what he's got. And then in the middle of the act, at some point, he fumbled, and then he started doing this, fumbling the deck. And at one point, there was no out. He said, "And your chosen card, ladies and gentlemen, sir, was," and they called out something wrong, like a 3 of clubs, and he had no out. He just apologized about 5 minutes into his act and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize, I'm sorry. At this point, I can't continue," and walked off stage. And was either disqualified or got very low points. I went on, I blew the roof off the place and won first place in French. And then I met the guy afterwards, and he came running to me, like in the hotel lobby, and said, "Excuse me, may I ask, that amazing cut I happened to see you do while I was rehearsing? Well, yeah," he said, "was that an 11 packet cut? Where did you learn it? What's it called?" And I said, "It wasn't an 11 packet cut. I'll show it to you. I made it up myself. I had a name for it at some point. It's a 7 packet cut." Now, why did he say 11? Because he consciously knew in his head that his greatest, most awesome looking move, his standing ovation moment of his act, was a 10 packet cut. And I said, "If you're asking about 11 packets, you have a 10 packet cut, right?" He said, "Yes, yes, yes." I said, "If we were to put the camera on your hands, your cut's probably prettier than mine." I was just a lot more there. I was just calmer. I was just playing with it, and I want to apologize for what I did to you. And he wasn't even aware of it. He said, "Why? What are you talking about?" And I said, "I knew you were watching. I was toying with you." Now, I didn't take a hammer to his hands. I didn't break any of his fingers, but I destroyed his mind with my calm, with my half smile nod that threw him out of the French nationals, his country, his hopes, shattered his dreams with this. So I apologized to him, and I said I knew what I was doing, and I bought him a beer, and then we were friendly after that. But it just shows you the power of complete calm, you know, being able to own the room, being so comfortable with yourself in that moment, in that situation, that you feel like nothing can tear you down. And that's the sort of the aura that I had around me. That's the energy I was projecting on the stage for my segment on Penn and Teller Fool Us. Because it was not only a 6-minute act, it was not only 10 minutes of screen time with the interview with Alison Hannigan. It was a summary of 20 years of work squeezed into that one stage, that one space of screen time, and I wanted to make it count and be remembered for that. And I'm very happy that I think I've accomplished that. So I hope this helps. It's just the way I view and the way I've sort of my journey, how I've arrived at what people seem to describe as this Zen-like Jedi Master calm or confidence, whatever that is. All right. Hope this was helpful, and there will be more talks to come because there's enough young magicians and people I'm coaching and questions coming my way. Feel free as well in the comments to ask any questions. People have started that on my Ask Me Anything psychological damage interview. Ask questions, I'll address them in these videos. So thank you very much for watching. More videos to come, and cut.